Chapter 1521. Haruto and Kenji ran away from Oren's home in a hurry. At this time, the maid hurried in and said, "Sir, the bodyguards in our family are all injured." "Look." Oren immediately waved his hand and said, "Hurry up and call 120 and send them to the doctor for treatment. I will pay for all the expenses, and each person will pay another 200,000 medical expenses. I will arrange for my secretary to go there." The servant nodded immediately, took out his mobile phone and dialed 120. Everyone also went out to check the injuries of the bodyguards. Although all of them looked miserable, their wounds were not life-threatening. However, these people are also very ashamed, and even ashamed to look up at Oren, and constantly curse that they are too weak and ashamed of Oren's trust. Oren didn't care about this either, and comforted one by one, "Today's matter is an accident." The other party came prepared. "You can't match each other, and you can understand it." With that said, he again asked, "Don't think about it so much now, go to the hospital for treatment and recovery." Soon, the ambulance took the bodyguards away, and Oren also arranged for his secretary to rush to the hospital to handle related matters. When everything was arranged, he finally felt relieved. The family of three returned to the dining room with Alex. Oren took Alex's hand and choked up and said, "Alex, for today, thanks to you." Aiko and Kano on the side also nodded gratefully. Aiko said, "Alex, if it weren't for you, today and you uncle, I really don't know how to cross this hurdle." Kano also cried and said, "Alex, thank you so much for today." As she said that, she remembered the grievances that her parents had just received, and she couldn't control her emotions, and tears couldn't stop streaming. Alex hurriedly comforted, "Uncle, Aunt Aiko, and Kano, to me, you are my relatives. What kind of kindness is there to me?" Oren nodded and asked with red eyes, "Alex, how come you have such a strong strength? Even if they are not your opponents, this is too powerful? What have you experienced over the years? How can you be so tough?" Alex said seriously, "Uncle, although I have had a hard time these years, I did encounter some opportunities that ordinary people can't meet, so I have some skills." Oren grabbed his hand and said sincerely, "Alex, if I leave, you, Aunt Aiko and Kano, are all dependent on you, otherwise, I will not be at ease until I die, and I will never look down." Aiko wiped her tears, and said stubbornly, "Husband, don't say such dejected things, and don't worry about your wife. The big deal is that after you leave, I will donate all the money. Anyway, my family will pay it back. It's a little bit capable. My daughter is now a big star again. You must have no worries about the lives of mothers and daughters. We donated all the property, and we won't let them both get a cent." Oren sighed and nodded softly, "After I leave, everything will be in the hands of your wife. I have no other wishes. I only hope that you will live a healthy and peaceful life." Kano cried and said, "Dad, don't say that. Are you planning to be hospitalized and actively cooperate with treatment? There may be miracles. Don't make conclusions so early." Oren laughed sadly, "Good girl, your dad has lived for most of life. He has experienced all kinds of storms, and he can see through many things. As for my disease, I can't cure it everywhere. Treatment is nothing more than a question of whether to go in the first half of the year or the second half. Now it is the 12th lunar month of the lunar calendar, and it is also the first month of the new year in the solar calendar. Therefore, Oren felt that he would definitely not be able to live this year." When these words came out, Aiko and Kano cried into a ball. Both of them were top beauties. Crying into such a pear blossom in rain, it really hurts. Especially Kano. Alex didn't have much contact with her, but she could feel that her temper was very proud and strong, but now she was crying like this.